All right, all right, all right. This is the David Washington Show. I am David Washington. Oh my goodness. Hey, look at that, right? So, okay, first of all, just to give you some reference here, as far as when this is being broadcast, hopefully this is correct. I have not been able to collaborate this, but I think O.J. Simpson died. It was just announced, but I don't know. I'm not too sure. I haven't been able to corroborate that information, but that's what's going on. But this particular episode is more of a public service announcement to my Democrats, their allies, their friends, those people who support the Democratic Party, and particularly it's about the abortion issue. It's going to be the number one issue unless there's something catastrophic happens in America, particularly for our voters here in Florida. It's going to be the number one issue come the elections this year, particularly in November. Arizona just decided yesterday, April 10th, the Supreme Court upheld an 1860 law that forbids abortion unless it is at the risk of the life of the mother. That particular law was codified later when Arizona became a state, and wow. I'm not a one issue type of voter or candidate or candidates that I support. However, this is going to drive people to the polls. We could see seismic changes in state legislatures, governor houses, Congress, local courts, Supreme Courts across the country. However, what I want to talk about is taking this conversation further than just the right for a woman to choose to end a pregnancy. I want to talk about, and I've been harping on this over and over and over again, about, especially here in Florida, constitutional right to privacy of the individual. As plain and simple as it is. And we, Americans, are slowly having our privacy rights chipped away, particularly beginning after 9/11 with the Patriot Act 1 and the Patriot Act 2. Slowly chipping away. And here in Florida, April the 1st, a decision was handed down by the Florida Supreme Court that said that abortion is not covered by the privacy clause. That decision, a very private decision between a woman and her doctor, and whoever that woman chooses to be in that decision making, not government, is not covered by the privacy clause that was established back in the late 1980s in Re-TW, that particular case. What the justices stated in upholding the 15-week ban on abortion here in Florida, thus triggering a 6-week ban coming in early May 2024, said that no, abortion is not covered. No. Now, Floridians have a right to privacy of information, of their information, from government infringing on using their information, their data, for certain purposes. However, the If I'm understanding this correctly, and please, I need to know, I really need to know, I need to know from our constitutional lawyers, professors, people who know the law better than I do, that in this particular decision, the scope of the privacy clause particular to privacy of the individual just became more narrow. Again, based on this recent decision handed down by the Florida Supreme Court. So I'm asking Democrats, their allies, their friends, their supporters, to start having the conversation, particularly to bring in the independents, the independent voters, and even some like-minded Republicans to pull them into supporting their cause, the Democrats' cause, and codifying in the Constitution, the Florida Constitution, by amendment, a woman's right to reproductive health, the right to choose, the right to abortion, but expand that conversation to start talking about the right to privacy of the individual, the right for us as Floridians to make every day kitchen table, bedroom, living room, doctor's office decisions for our own quality of life, to make decisions that we believe are best for ourselves, no matter what the consequences are. That's on the individual. Again, we're seeing the slow deterioration of personal freedoms, whether it's the book bans here in Florida, the social media restrictions for 14-year-olds and younger, to this decision by the Florida Supreme Court to restrict abortion. Government, and it's hard to understand this from Republicans and conservatives here in Florida, government's supposed to be small, not interfere in personal freedoms and decision making, particularly those freedoms in decision making that has nothing to do with a governor, a state legislator, a judge, but those personal freedoms to decide one's own path, to use our own judgment. I don't need to have government tell me, oh, my 14-year-old, and I do have a 14-year-old, should not be on social media, should be banned. That's it. Decision was already decided by my 14-year-old's parents. My niece, when she was growing up, she had a conversation with her parents and her grandparents about taking care of herself and her reproductive health and making sound decisions and being supported by family for making sound decisions. It worked out great for her. It really did. Leave it to the families to make these decisions. Government, less government in the interference of our lives. And when I think about government and think about the Republicans, I think about Homeland Security, the Department of Homeland Security, the largest department in federal government that Republicans created. The same Republicans who talk about small government so small that you can drown it in a bathtub. Which is it? Small government, less interference, or big government, more interference? Particularly here in Florida. Mean what you say what you mean, Republicans. Okay? Please. Because there's a lot of independent-minded and independent voting Floridians who are about to flip legislatures, county commissions, courts, Congress, and I believe the Republicans are going to be on the losing end of the voters deciding their freedom to vote for who they believe will lead America in the right direction. So, again, we really appreciate it here at Jay Washington. I'm here at the Safe House this week. We'll be back in the studio, but we've got some great content that we're putting together. And if you like what you're hearing, what you see, we really, really, really love for you to comment. Be a part of our community if you're not already a part of our community. Ubuntu. And let us know. Let us know your opinion. Because everyone has an opinion, and we want to have a conversation, a tactful, respectful conversation. Set aside your feelings and bring your facts. That's all we're asking. Let's keep our feelings out of this, and let's be respectful towards one another. I love what I do. Our team loves what we do. We're your political innovators here at Jay in Washington. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So you guys know when we run the campaign, we look at it from the perspective of, oh, look at that, the phone's going off. We look at it from the perspective of building a startup business. And I was just part of the Florida Chamber's initiative for campaign management, something to that effect. And I learned a lot of what's not out there, the information that's not out there. And it let me know that we are ahead of the curve when it comes to managing your campaign. A campaign that is built on efficiency, strategy, and a winning attitude. Again, if you follow the strategy, you're more than likely to win. So, again, I'm David Washington. This is the David Washington Show, and we really appreciate you being a part of our community. Thank you, and take care. We're out.